What's up, man? All right, want to do the intro together? Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Global Grind Podcast, the GGP episode number 6. This is Palmy. He's a little tired. I think he's going to take a nap. I'm Maddie. Welcome in, guys. Today we're going to talk about how mindset is everything. I try to keep this pretty organic, just kind of whatever's coming up in life. And my goal is to be able to give you guys something short and sweet to listen to while you are mowing the lawn, cleaning the house, driving. And hopefully it just kind of provides some kindling and a little spark for your fire to be like, hey, I didn't think about that like that. It just kind of gets your mindset going. And ultimately that doesn't just lead to thinking, because that gets nobody anywhere, but leads you to make some different choices and take some action. And those small things then add up when you repeatedly take those actions. And that's how you change your life and become a better you. So without further ado, let's get into it. I think one of the big things here that life has kind of been showing me lately, but I think is good for everyone to hear, is that everything is mindfulness, right? And a matter of perspective. And if we look at life like a poker game, you're going to get dealt some hands, right? Like we're all dealt a hand when we start life, and you can't choose what that is. It's all kind of luck of the draw, right? But it's also kind of like building a my player on like NBA 2K, right? Like if you want to go ahead and up the attributes for your guys' ball handling, right? You might lower attributes and another thing, right? Like, so there's going to be some give and take, and you could spend your whole life complaining about the hand that you were dealt, but ultimately the people that are the happiest, right? I hate the term successful because what is that, right? What is successful? The definition of that is different for everybody, but I think that generally speaking, everyone can get on board with this. They want to feel happy, right? They want to feel good about themselves, physically, mentally, spiritually. They want to feel purposeful, right? Like there is some randomness on this world, of course, but at the same time, I do believe that the better mindset to have and the better way to live is to know that as we are all just individual specks in the grand scheme of things in this universe, but I truly believe that every single one of us is meant to change this world some way, somehow. And even if you're just affecting one life, you never know the lives that could affect and the chain reaction it could have. And I think it's a matter of perspective, and a good perspective to keep in mind that people should have. And ultimately, that's going to lead to vigor. I mean, it's going to make you want to get up in the morning and get after it. So ultimately, it's this. You're going to get dealt these hands, right? But the biggest thing that's going to separate people that are lost and stuck and making excuses of how they don't have time to do whatever it is and just stuck in a loop, right? Gossiping about others and talking trash and maybe negative on their own self and don't have self-belief. You name it, right? Those are the people that don't understand that the action that they take is so much more important than the hand that they were dealt, right? How you play that hand is so much more important in defining of your life and where you're going to go and who you're going to become, rather than the hand that you were dealt. And as life keeps progressing, you are going to get dealt some crappy hands, right? And that's the thing that's crazy when you really think about it, is that people that don't believe in you, right? Haters, people that and maybe it's coming from a place where you need to reflect, right? Like I realize that haters are your biggest helpers and healers at a very young age, right? Maybe you need to reflect, and maybe you do need to change. You're saying that they're haters, right? But you're just a jerk, you know? And maybe in a lot of cases, like maybe you are very mindful of your character and how you're coming off to people and the things that you're doing, and you know that you're aligned, and it's coming from a place of jealousy and envy, right? But you reflected on that. You know that you're very centered. You're confident in who you are and what you're doing, and it's just life's way of having an illusion to try to get you to question yourself and doubt yourself, and really challenge your self-belief, and that you need to double down on that, right? That's something too. But all of a sudden, something negative it became something so positive, right? And I think that's something that people complain about a lot is other people. But those people that doubt you, you know, like they're such a great mirror. They're such a great way to really truly believe in yourself, and be mindful of yourself. And all of a sudden, when you frame something like that and you extract the positive out of it, that's what's important. I think that's what people that are aligned, centered, happy, and goal driven do. I think that's what they do. And I think that's what's tough about it, is that this comes in, people are so different that are happy, right? And come from many different walks of life, do many different things. They look different, they act different, right? But I kind of think that that's why it's so tough, is that it does come down to mindset, and it's intangible, right? Like you can't see it, you can't touch it, but it can be felt, right? Like it can be observed in a way. Like you can see people's life that just kind of keeps rolling in a good way, and it's with the grain, it flows, right? And they're building brick by brick. And if you're watching this and you feel stuck, this is why it's tough, right? And this is why you can't go to a trainer. This is why you can't go to a therapist, right? Because and get somewhere. It's not that they can't help you, right? But it's because ultimately you are going to have to take accountability that your actions and your choices are the biggest influencing factor in your life. Flat out. And it's not the trauma. It's not what your parents did. It's not what these people did over here, or your boss did. It's your reaction to it. It's your framing to it, right? So like, if this didn't work out with this job, if it didn't work out with this business, it's one thing to be like, oh man, this sucks, and I flopped. Or you could be like, hey, like I wasn't meant to do this, and this is life's way of putting kind of a bumper on the guardrails and shifting me on a new path and directing me to something better, right? Like that's the mindset. I blew up my ankle after high school, and I was like, man, like I could think of what a setback that is from all the hard training that I put in. Or I could be like, hey, you know what? I train for a living. I'm going to learn a lot from this. I'm going to build a ton of resiliency and integrity, and mobility, I guess you could say, into my ankle, and make sure that I can never roll it again, that they're bulletproof, so to speak. And I did, and I was able to teach my athletes that, and I'm able to think, hey, you know what? All that energy I was channeling into training my entire body, I can channel that all into upper body now, right? I'm going to get my upper body stronger than it's ever been and extract the positive out of that, right? The things that happen to you in your life that aren't good, that's what's crazy, is that you realize the worst, nastiest times when you are in the trenches, like at war with whatever's going on with yourself, right? Like the biggest challenges that you have ever had when you're being forged through fire, that is how you become, that is how you evolve. And we frame those things as bad things, but you think about it, without those, nobody would ever get better, right? And so all of a sudden, when you start to recognize that these negative things, right, that that fear is like an emotional beacon, it's a guide, right? Like, hey, I fear this, I have anxiety about this, I don't want to do this, right? Even though I know it would make me better. I seek those things now, right? Like I know if I feel that way, that's all it is just a feeling, and I go towards it, and I because I want to conquer it, because I know that on the other side of that is a better me, it's a more confident me, it's a more centered me, it is a more humble me, which is great, right? And then I have a totally different frequency that I'm giving off to people, right? That's radiating, and that's bleeding into others, right? And I mean, that's ultimately the mindset to have, man, is when you recognize that all these negative things are actually positive and going to level you up. And it's your mindset and resistance to it that is keeping you stuck. Everyone's going to get dealt hands. We're all sitting at the same table, but our hands are going to be different. And you know what? You can complain about that, but the kid that you're jealous of, that's a trust fund kid, and you wish that you had this money, right? And you got all these goals and dreams. That kid's searching for purpose still. He doesn't know who he is, maybe because it's been handed to him. So he's on his grind in a different way, right? Like you might need money to bridge that gap, but he's still searching for himself and who he is, and how to become something, right? Because he hasn't built him himself yet, right? I mean, that's a good example. I mean, you could frame that any way that you want with different situations, but everyone's hand's going to be different. But ultimately, we're all at the same table. And if you complain about the hand that you're dealt, you're never going to get anywhere, and you're going to be stuck losing chips the whole time in a negative mindset. But if you play your cards right, you extract the good from bad hands, and you're grateful for the good hands that you get, and you keep it moving, you're going to be in a much happier place. And I promise you, coming from some events that have happened recently, a guy that I think was a total stud, I knew he was struggling a little bit too, and he's in a better place. Shout out to my buddy Vinny. This one's for you. I think you're a total stud, man. You're awesome. But everything's a matter of perspective, right? And I think that no matter how long your life is, it's important to understand that if you just affect one person, right, you never know that the domino effect that's going to have. And I just want everyone to know that it is my belief that this is not random, and that every single person out there has a divine purpose and something that they should be doing. And it's really hard to judge the value of that. And there's no, because there is no judge. It's apples to oranges. Everyone's different, and that's what makes it so awesome. But if you're listening to this, know that everything's a matter of perspective. I really don't know what else to say, to be honest. I don't like to cut this stuff out, but I don't want people to feel stuck and stagnant. I don't want people to feel overwhelmed. I want people to feel passionate. I want them to feel purposeful. I want them to feel aligned. And sometimes, everything's meant to be. Sometimes life takes you a certain way, and that's totally okay. That's what's cool about having that mindset, is everything's meant to be, and you look at it and take the good and recognize the bad, and hopefully you can extract that and make yourself a better person from that. But ultimately, man, it's been a long day. It's been a long day. I knew I wanted to get on here and do this because I hadn't in a little bit, and I'm trying to keep myself consistent with it too and stay disciplined, to be honest with you. And this is one of the things that I can make excuses about, but ultimately I really do want to build Global Grind. I think it's something that can really change the world. I love it starting here in a little small town, and that it's so close to me with the people that I see that are chasing this, in my local area and in a little bit beyond that I've grown up with, that are coming from all these different families and walks of life and going and doing different things, but yet that energy is the same, right? And it's kind of the mindset that I'm talking about right now, where it's like, hey man, like, I accept the bad and the good that's going to come my way, and ultimately, no matter what, I'm just going to keep moving forward, and I'm going to be a better me each day. And there's just so much more that is in control than is out of your control. And I think if people realize that, you're going to realize that no matter what happens on your worst, darkest day, you can walk away a little bit better in some way. So I hope that wasn't too rambly. Like I said, a little bit low on energy, tough kind of processing some of that stuff right now. Ultimately, I'm a big believer that everyone goes to a better place for sure. I really do. It's cool as I age. I see the good in everyone, man. I do, man. But it's heavy, I mean, there's some boys that don't got a dad out there now. So take care of yourself, guys. I mean, this life's tough. Know that I know it's tough. Some people just wear it a little bit better than others, but guess what? We're all on the same grind. Know that you're not alone, and reach out to people, stay in touch, work on yourself. Have good physical outlets, take a walk outside, and just try to keep yourself healthy and happy. Truly want the best for everybody. Hope you guys got a little bit out of this, and with that, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, shout out to Vinny Sanchez, man. This one's for you. Rest in peace, brother. Like I said, you're a total stud, and we'll see you on the other side, man. Let's keep it moving.